You may not know it, but the Auto Club of Southern California has been giving travelers reliable, trustworthy service for over 100 years. As we've grown, so have the benefits we offer our members. Now we can help you plan trips and save time, whether you're traveling around California, the U.S., or the world.
Road Trip with Huell is made possible by the Automobile Club of Southern California.
Hello everybody, I'm Huell, and here we are right on the coast. Look at this with the sun reflecting off the rocks and the water. It is so beautiful. We've pulled right over to the side of Highway 1 because we've got an interesting situation that has developed. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. We've got a flight out of San Francisco back home to LA tonight at 8 o'clock. So we've got some time on our hands. It's a beautiful afternoon, so we've decided to go on kind of an impromptu road trip. We've looked at the map, and just up the road a few miles is the little town of Half Moon Bay. Now, I know absolutely nothing about Half Moon Bay, but that's where we're going to spend the afternoon. We don't know who we're going to meet, where we're going to go, what's going to happen to us. This is going to be kind of interesting, and if you're up for an honest-to-goodness, seat-of-your-pants adventure, you're invited to join us as we head up the road just a few miles and spend the afternoon in Half Moon Bay on a road trip. We have arrived in Half Moon Bay, and we are standing out in front of the Half Moon Bay Review, which is the local newspaper.
That's right.
We are standing with Stacy Trevenant. I'm sorry, we just met. Literally, what happened? A newspaper is a good place to find out about a town, a local paper. So when we pulled into town, we found the newspaper office, went in, found you, and said we were in town and we wanted to find out about this place. So you've been on the phone for a while setting things up.
Yes, I have.
And we're getting ready for a whirlwind seat-of-your-pants trip around Half Moon Bay. First, tell us, what have we gotten ourselves into? What kind of a little town is this?
Half Moon Bay, I think, is about as eclectic as you'll get. It comes from agricultural and fishing roots, and it has seen an influx of high-tech people coming from Silicon Valley, telecommuters. There is thriving arts and crafts, or arts and entertainment, music, theater community here. There are still the farming and growing roots.
Wow.
There are a strong community working with youth and with the seniors here in town. There's a little bit of everything, which is why I love working for the paper, because you find everything and there's never a dull moment.
So, boy, I think not only have we chosen the right town, we've chosen the right lady to guide us here today.
Hey, I'll do my best.
This is going to be fun, isn't it?
I think it will.
And we're all going to learn a little bit about this place called Half Moon Bay. Are we ready to go?
We're ready to go. We even have sunny weather for you and a little bit of wind to make it really whirlwind. Just for you.
The tour begins, and wow, look at these little houses. These are absolutely beautiful little things.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And I don't think they've changed much since they first were built. Some of them, I think, date back to the 1860s or thereabouts.
So these were just little houses. Who would have lived here in the 1860s?
Well, the first farmers, the first families, would have made their homes here in houses just like this.
And they have survived all these years.
They have survived with minimal maintenance over the years.
All right, now we are just right still in downtown Half Moon Bay, which only really goes a couple of blocks.
That's right, we are.
And here we are. No tour of a town would be complete without going to the jail. And here's one that was built in 1911, and here are three of the I don't know, I was going to say inmates have come out to greet us, but you all look fairly reputable. Your name?
Marina Fraser. I'm current president of the Spanish Town Historical Society.
Historical Society.
I'm Bob Tucker. I was past president for a couple of years.
I'm David Iverson. I'm a past president also.
Well, this is an amazing little place we've got here. This was actually the jail here in Half Moon Bay?
It was built in 1911, and before the town was incorporated, we used to have a constable that was in charge of the jail. Later on, San Mateo County sheriffs took charge of the jail, and then in the late 1980s, they turned it over to the city of Half Moon Bay, to our historical society, to use as a museum.
We're inside the jail, I mean the museum, because you've still got the place. The bars are still working here.
Oh, they sure are. We have 2 solid steel jail cells. The whole building itself is solid concrete. So it was pretty hard to escape from here.
But it was a small jail because you didn't have many disreputable people living here in Half Moon Bay back then, did you?
No, we didn't. This has always been a peaceful community.
And where did this old Spanish town come from?
Well, originally, this was part of a Spanish land grant given to the Miramontes family from before California was a state. So they had a tract of land from Devil's Slide to a few miles south. Eventually, that was sold off during the years. But it was occupied by the Spanish, therefore, Spanish Town.
So that old Half Moon Bay used to be called Spanish Town.
That's correct. It wasn't until the early 1900s that the post office started calling it Half Moon Bay, and then from there it was adopted.
Boy, we found another good guide right here. She knows her history. What is this up here? This is obviously made outside the United States Capitol in Washington. Was this a group from Half Moon Bay?
It was a precision drill team called the Spanish Town Dons. They actually toured across America in the 50s. They were very well known. They were invited to perform in the state capitol, and they were also on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Wow, this is amazing. What a great picture here.
They were a wonderful drill team, and then eventually we had another group that came after them, same group but called Los Caballeros, and this is one of the uniforms.
Oh, look. Oh, wow, this is great. So there's a real heritage, there's a real history here in this town.
Oh, certainly. This town is just filled with history from different people from all over the world. Of course, after the gold rush, you had the Swiss, the Spanish, or they were already here, but the German, the Scots, the Irish, they all came to California and brought with them their trades and settled here. So it was a really diverse community.
And now you got the high-tech yuppies moving into town.
And we sure do.
That's just the latest group to come in.
That's right.
And as far as we can tell, there's really nobody in here. There's a mannequin back there, but that's about it.
That's our token prisoner, and this is his grieving widow.
Oh, look. We got the prisoner in there and the widow outside visiting him in jail. This is great.
It's a wonderful jail. We have a lot of fun with it. We have a lot of tour groups come through it, and especially children. They're fascinated by it. They usually try to throw a sibling in there. If we have school groups, they lock the teacher in there.
And this is interesting. I'm just looking at this. This is a beautiful picture here that kind of reflects back to the agricultural heritage of this area.
It sure does. That was the Dutra family owned that property, and that's down toward the end of Kelly Avenue and the beach. And that house and some of those buildings are still there. They've been added upon, and the Giusti family lives
there. And those are artichokes that they're
Yes,
growing.
they are.
So
That's
this
correct.
was a big artichoke area.
Oh, certainly. A lot of artichokes and different agriculture up and down the coast.
We are leaving the jail because there's something else you wanted to show us.
We have a wonderful barn, the Thomas Johnson barn, built in 1877. It's been restored in the last 5 years or so. And Thomas Johnson was the brother of another prominent citizen here in the coast, James Johnson. And Thomas was unique because this was a barn he had for his freight hauling business. He was one of the first people. He had stagecoaches coming down here to town, but he would haul produce to San Francisco and Santa Cruz or goods all over. And this is where he stored his wagons and his horses.
Somebody better close the doors. The wind is pretty well going to take care of them.
Yeah, and we're lucky that we were able to preserve the barn too.
How long has this it's been here since 1877?
Yes, that's correct.
Wow, now what are you going to do with the barn? It just looks like it's got a lot of kind of stuff in here now.
Well, in the future, this is going to be an agricultural exhibit. Right now, we've got a display of old blacksmith tools right here, and we've got some other different farm implements, but eventually this will be an agricultural exhibit, and we'll have tractors out here too.
So this is going to be part of the museum.
It is. We'd like to preserve the history of the coastside, and agricultural has been so important to us here. So we'd like to show a lot of the implements that were used.
And I tell you what, when you come here with this wonderful old barn that's over 130 years old, you better pay attention to that sign, no smoking.
Oh, definitely.
You don't want to burn down this place.
We certainly don't.
And I noticed you were over here taking a look over here. Here's another historic structure here in Half Moon Bay. What's the deal here?
Well, this used to belong to a friend of mine here in town, and he had an old blacksmith shop set up, and this was the biffy for that.
The what?
The biffy.
The biffy? I've never heard it called that before.
Well, that's what I was told when I was a young kid. It was the biffy.
Is there? Yeah, it's a biffy, all right. Let's see, can we get it opened up?
I'm trying to see what.
I think they may have it locked.
There's somebody in there.
There's somebody in there. Oh, yeah, look in there. There's the biffy. The tour continues. Now we've come just right next door to this beautiful old Methodist church. We spotted this coming into town. David, tell us the history of this.
Well, this is one of the oldest churches in San Mateo County, church buildings. It was built in 1872, and the congregation that occupies it is the oldest congregation in San Mateo County, continuous congregation.
Wow, was it always that blue and white color? Is that a historic color?
I'm not sure, but I think it was close to that.
Wow.
But pictures indicate it was a light color.
Now, the story,
We don't
though,
have any colored pictures.
the story, though, is the way it's facing.
Yes, for many years it was faced this way,
This way.
90 degrees this way, right.
Why did they move it?
They moved it in order to make room for the new sanctuary. And that's been going on for the last 2 or 3 years.
So was it a big deal when they moved the church from this way to this way?
I think people were panicked because of the stained glass windows. They wanted to make sure they didn't move or crack, so it was done very carefully.
And it was a big to-do when they moved it.
Oh, it was fascinating to watch. Oh, yes.
This would have been enough to keep the newspaper busy for months.
It kept us busy at least for several issues. It did indeed.
And what was the hubbub around town about this?
People were just coming by to look at it. It's not every day you see a building this size just propped up. And people were coming by and moved around. And people were coming by to look at it, see it propped up, and then watch it be moved.
Oh, this is a very simple but a very interesting sanctuary here. And David, you brought us in here because there's something else you wanted to show us.
Well, there's several interesting notes to bring up about it. First of all, the original chandeliers, which are oil and have been electrified.
Wow.
And originally, the custom was with the Congregational Church was that the males and the females would be separated in the congregation. So
what do you mean?
Yeah, well,
men were on one side, the women on...
Men sat on one side and women on the other.
So that's what this thing is.
That's what this is for. Right.
To separate the men from the women. Well, what would happen if a man wanted to sit over there or a woman
couldn't?
Really?
In church? No.
In church.
Now listen, I was born and raised a Methodist. I've never heard that rule before in my life.
You learn something new every day, don't you?
Wow. So they kept this here as a reminder of the way things used to be back in 1872.
Exactly.
Well, we were having a lot of fun talking about the pews, but before we left, on a more serious note, David, you wanted to point out these beautiful stained glass windows.
Yes, these stained glass windows were originally put together and built by a member of the congregation about 12 years ago. His name was Bob Fitzpatrick. And each one of them depicts something about the coastside. For instance, the lighthouse, and then there are the pumpkins,
Which
depict
is
the pumpkin.
agricultural, which is the history of this place.
Right, and then that's more of a religious feature, that one. And that's the Christmas window.
So the real Half Moon Bay window is right here with the pelican, the lighthouse.
Another one is the forests, and there's the one on that corner is of the ocean and the trees.
What a nice idea.
Yeah, that was everybody in the congregation very proud of these windows.
Before we leave, Marina, who is the president of the Spanish Town Historical Society, has a presentation to make.
Well, we'd like to welcome you to town. We're so happy you're here. And we have a pin for you. It's got a pumpkin, and it says Half Moon Bay, California. So we hope you always remember us.
So is this like a pin? Is this an honorary membership into the Historical Society? What is it? Why are you laughing? Listen, when you work for PBS, you like to get honorary memberships to things.
We'll make you an honorary member. You can wear your pumpkin pin, because we are known as the pumpkin capital of the world also.
You're kidding.
No,
So
we're very proud of that.
There really is still an agricultural, very much base here, even though the town is getting, more sophisticated.
Oh, certainly, and we have a very active flower agricultural part of this community too.
Yeah, and the pumpkins are big here.
And the pumpkins are big. We have our annual pumpkin festival the second week of October every year.
We missed that.
You did. You'll have to come back next time.
We'll be back next year. Thank you very much for this pen.
Well, thanks for coming.
We've had a great little tour here. This is kind of your domain right up and down this street, isn't it?
Johnson Street is a very historic street. We're very proud of it.
Great old car. Wow, that's great. Is he a local?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Are you a local?
Yes, I am.
Wow, what a great old car.
Thank you. I like it.
You don't want to sell it, do you?
No, I do not.
Great car.
Thank you.
Wow, this is great. All right, let's, boy, we're just walking right through the middle of town.
You're taking your life in your hands.
But we're coming over here because you wanted to take us inside this place.
Yes, I did.
What's the deal?
This is a Half Moon Bay institution, original Johnny's. It's now run by Johnny's son, Steve Evan. And if you want pie or you want to sit around for breakfast and just jaw with your friends, it's the place to go.
So this is the local yokel hangout here.
Absolutely.
Original Johnny's.
And it is.
Let's go inside.
Thank you.
We're inside Original Johnny's. Where is Johnny?
Johnny has left us, unfortunately, but his son, Steve, you see right back there behind the counter, carrying on.
This is the original Johnny's son.
Yes.
Okay, and are you connected with this in some way?
Yes, I'm Steve's wife,
So
Ilva.
you are original Johnny's son's wife. Where are the pies? That's what we've heard about.
The pies are right here behind me.
Can we get a look at these things? Ah, here are the pies. Now tell us,
Is that all you want to do?
tell us what we've got here.
We have a lemon meringue that's homemade.
Oh, that looks good.
And then we have a rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
And then we have an apple.
Of course, you got to have an apple pie.
Yes.
Now, how many pies a day do you all make and sell here at Original Johnny?
3 to 6.
So is this what you're down to right now?
Yes.
So if you want to eat pie here, you better come early in the day.
Yes. Yes.
And what is it that makes Original Johnny's pies so good?
Well, I've been told that the recipes are from home. They are from scratch, and so we don't put any preservatives in them or anything like that.
Now, who makes these pies, you or your husband?
Both of us do.
Can I talk to your husband for a minute?
Yes.
Do you make these pies?
Oh, of course.
Well, tell us what's in them.
What's in them? just some old recipes from same spices and everything else that people have been using for years and years and years.
And these started with your dad.
They started with my father and my mother, yes. And we kind of developed them as time went on.
Has this place always been right here on this corner in Half Moon Bay?
Oh, no. My father had 3 other places prior to this one. spanning over, I guess, since the 1950s, sometime in there.
And how long have you been here?
Since 1966. Seven.
That's long enough. You've kind of settled in, haven't you?
Sort of, yes.
And I'll tell you what, we haven't eaten yet, and this egg salad sandwich looks pretty good.
Well, that belongs to the big guy over there.
Oh.
Be careful.
Now we're back out on Main Street, and if there ever was a town where Main Street means Main Street, it's Half Moon Bay, because this is the main and just about the only street in town.
It's the heart of town, and where's Norman Rockwell when you need him?
Absolutely. Now, does this date back? I mean, this is all original here.
Yes, it is, and a lot of these buildings are still the original buildings. Of course, a lot of businesses have come in, and some of the buildings have changed, but a lot of them are original, and many of the ones that have had additions have worked to keep the same configuration from the past.
And you know what I like? When you look off in the distance there, you've got these beautiful mountains that
Yes.
still have trees on the side of them, so you really have a sense of place when you're here.
Yes, you do, and you also get a sense of place, though. If you look at this street and try to imagine 350,000 people passing by here, you'll get kind of a rough idea of what it's like on Pumpkin Festival weekend every year.
You're kidding.
I kid you not.
Wait a minute. 350,000 people come in this town on one weekend?
Over the Saturday and the Sunday of Pumpkin Festival weekend, it has been clocked
See,
at
I don't want
350,000.
to be here when there are 350,000 people.
You and a lot of
here.
other people who go out of town or just go to the groceries and go to the grocery stores, buy their groceries, and hunker down.
Now we've come to a place that you tell me is the heart and soul of downtown Half Moon Bay.
It's the heart and soul and sustenance of Half Moon Bay.
It's called, I'm reading the name, it says, what is that, Cunha?
Cunha's Country Store.
Cunha's Country Store.
Yes.
Now, is Cunha's an old family
Yes.
here in Half Moon Bay?
Yes, one of the oldest families that built this town way back 1800s.
So this store has been here all this time?
Pretty much. In the old photos that you see of the town, this building is very prominent.
All right, let's go inside, because I'm hungry. I didn't get to eat that sandwich that I wanted in Johnny's.
And we didn't get any pie in Johnny's. Just looking at that made me hungry. That lemon meringue, woo!
Now, this is a small world. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Yeah, I'm Dave Spears, and this is...
I'm Deanne Spears.
And why is this such a small world?
Because Huell is our neighbor in Palm Springs.
Well, what the heck are you all doing in Half Moon Bay?
Well, we live here. Yeah.
So you live part of the time up here and part of the time in Palm Springs.
Go down for weekends and vacations.
Wow.
You live 2 doors from us.
Yeah.
We're a long way from Palm Springs. How would you describe this little place to people who've never been here before?
Oh, it's a lovely place. I tried we could steer them away from here if we could, but it's a nice little place, and it's a beautiful small town.
Now, why did you all aren't natives of this town, are you?
No, I've lived here 25 years.
And I've been here 12 years.
Why did you come here?
Because it was small and beautiful and close to the water and quiet, yeah.
And you work?
And you could afford a house.
And you work how close by?
About 25 minutes away in San Francisco City College.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you commute into San Francisco every day?
Yeah, right over.
Devil's Slide. We go over Devil's Slide.
Yeah.
Route 1 north.
That's what they call it, Devil's Slide?
They call it Devil's Slide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're new to this area. We're learning.
Because it slides into the ocean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right. It's a few times.
A few
yes.
times.
Well, this is an amazing little town we kind of
isn't it
stumbled
lovely?
upon.
Yeah, I know, isn't it
Do
lovely?
most people stumble into this town?
They used to stumble into it, yeah. Now I think they're more aware of it than they used to be.
A lot of Silicon Valley people have moved here.
Yeah. So it has become a little more yuppie-fied.
Very much so.
Yes.
Very much so. It's this. You can still see vestiges of its agricultural history.
But there used to be the auto parts store right down here on Main Street and stuff like that, and the insurance. And now they moved down behind the hardware, and we have different stores and shops there. Yeah.
But you don't really mind people like us coming into town, do you?
Love to see you.
No, we like to show off the town.
Well, nice to see you all. I'll see you in Palm Springs in a couple of weeks.
Be sure you go inside Cunha and introduce yourself to Bev. She's the owner, and she's there.
That's where we were heading when we ran into you all.
Nice to see you, Huell.
Nice to see you all. All right, now let's go in the store. Howdy, how you doing?
Hi, I'm just Farmer John passing through here, but we're going to visit after a while.
Nice to meet you.
Right, Stacy, how you doing?
Farmer John,
I was making a delivery.
Farmer John, what do you mean?
This is Farmer John Muller, and we'll be talking to him a little later about agriculture here in Half Moon Bay.
Oh, you've set this up.
I have set this up.
I'm making a delivery. See, on my bike, I save energy by doing it this way to Cunha's, our produce.
I tell you what, you have been hard at work setting stuff up for us. So we're going to come see you, on your farm?
Right there, against the hill. 2 minutes away.
All right, we'll be there in just a minute.
Over. I have a cultivator. It's out there ready for you to go to work on. I don't know if you know how to do those things.
Well, we'll learn.
I'll show you.
All right, let's head into Cunha's.
I'll be at the house.
Okay,
we're never going to get into Cunha's, but we'll try.
Well, let's just forge ahead.
Here we go into this wonderful old store, Cunha's Country Store.
There you go.
Bev, how are you doing?
Fine. How are you today?
Well, we have heard all about you and about a little bit about the history of this store. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Well, my family started it about 75 years ago, and I've been running it for about 60 years. And it still is an old-fashioned grocery store right on the corner of Main Street in Half Moon Bay.
Can we walk down here and get a kind of a feel for what the place is all about? Obviously, you're doing a good business. You got plenty of customers here. Everybody knows this lady?
Absolutely. She's like the unofficial mayor of the town.
Oh.
Bev's been here forever, and she's got a great store.
Well, it's kind of an old-timey store, isn't it?
It's great, though. If you can't find it, you come in here to Bev's, and you'll find it in Cunha's. Yeah. And she's just like family. She knows everybody and takes an interest in everybody, and she's done a lot of good things for the town, too.
Does she run a credit on you if you don't have the money?
Well, a lot of times I'll just sneak out the back door, but she's put a lock back there, so now they keep an eye on. She calls me the troublemaker.
This is great. This really is. Hi, how you doing?
Fine, how are you?
This really is a very interesting place you got here.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's a lot of work.
We're heading up these are kind of creaky stairs, Bev.
Yeah, they are.
How old are these stairs?
They're about 30 years old.
30? I thought the building was 100.
Well, we added these on after we remodeled. We remodeled the upstairs. It used to be an old dance hall.
What do you mean, a dance hall?
And meetings. They used to have meetings here. And the stage is still the original stage.
Oh,
on the
there's the stage.
That's the stage.
Right up there.
And now we made it to an old-fashioned store, general store.
Now, wait a minute. When you say they had dances up here, what do you mean? That like town dances?
Town dances and plays. And they used to bring the babies in the buggies, and they'd rock the babies to sleep, and they'd dance.
Now, isn't that kind of unusual to have something like that on top of a grocery store, or was that the way things...
Well, they had a saloon downstairs. Part of the grocery store was a saloon. So they had their saloon downstairs, and upstairs they had their plays and their dances. And the old-fashioned, the fire department at that time was a volunteer fire department, and they used to have their meetings up here.
Wow.
So it was like a town hall meeting and dance place.
Well, this was probably the biggest building in town.
Yes, it was at that
time.
And
it still is in a way.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty stable building. It's all redwood. And we've done a lot of remodeling since we've been here.
Before we leave, I spotted these artichokes downstairs here, and I bet you, are these grown locally, just like they used to be?
Yes, they are. They're still grown locally. We have just about 2 farmers left. There's not many farmers left around here. They grow green beans, artichokes, Brussels sprouts. We have heirloom tomatoes that are local.
So some of this stuff is local stuff.
Yes, bell peppers. We have bell peppers now that are local.
And are these artichokes good artichokes?
Very good. You can't get them any fresher. They pick them and they bring them to us at the same time. Right at night, we get them every night.
Boy, this
all our mushrooms are grown locally now.
Beautiful display
all our mushrooms.
here.
They come from local farmers,
Wow.
just about 15 miles away.
So this really is still an agricultural region, even though it's developing and...
It still is, some. Well, we don't have many farmers left. There are very few of the old farmers left in this community.
There are lots of beautiful galleries in Half Moon Bay. We are now inside the Coastal Gallery, which has been voted, according to the sign out front, the best art gallery in San Mateo County for the last 3 years. And when you walk in the door, here's an artist hard at work. Is this a local scene you're painting?
Yes, this is Martin's Beach, about 5 miles south in Half Moon Bay.
Mm-hmm. And your name is?
Mary Ellen Baker.
Now, this must be an amazing place to live if you're interested in natural landscape painting.
The most spectacular I've ever seen. I'm originally from New York.
Oh, boy.
And I fell in love here, and this was it.
Now, what do? You go out and take a picture.
Yes.
And then you come in the gallery and sit and
paint it, and I'm usually in here on Saturdays, so people come in and they watch me paint, and every week they see how the painting progresses. It's a lot of fun.
This is beautiful. And what is this point called? Is this a specific landmark?
Yeah, it's called Shark Fin Rock, which is in Martin's Beach.
Wow. Right, not very far from where we are.
5 miles. It's still in Half Moon Bay.
Wow. Well, nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Didn't mean to interrupt your artistry work here.
That's quite all right.
And here to greet us is... Are you the owner?
Yes, I am.
Well, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Your name?
Yes, Judy Campbell.
Who's this guy standing back behind you?
Handsome Bill.
Oh, I hope that's your husband. Now tell us a little bit about your gallery.
Right. Well, I started it about 16 years ago in Half Moon Bay when it was very sort of still rural and the main street was still underdeveloped, and it was kind of courageous because nothing much was happening, and now in the last 5 years there's been a lot more things happening.
Yeah, it's kind of become a town of galleries now, hasn't it?
Right. There's about 7 of us.
Now, are some of these local? Is this a local landscape up here?
These are Mary Ellen Baker's paintings, originals, these two. This is Devil's Slide, which is a gorgeous...
Oh, we just heard about Devil's Slide.
It should be called Angel's Slide, and it would behave better because it caves into the sea occasionally.
And this is looking right down the coast?
At the Ritz-Carlton Hotel with the 2 golf courses.
And this is another one of your local scenes here?
Right. This is looking south from that spot. Another painting.
Wow, this is absolutely beautiful. And this could be part of the local landscape here as well.
It could. It's typical of California.
Well, let's walk back here and see what else.
Right.
Oh, look, you've got a whole big thing going here.
This gallery is huge.
What's going on back here? Now, this looks a little more modern.
Right. Those are a little erotic.
Uh-oh. Are these
That's why they're in the corner.
Are these local artists?
This is a local artist, Joaquin Zepeda.
So you have a lot of local artists here in Half Moon Bay.
We do. We're very proud to show them off.
Is it becoming an artist community in a certain kind of a way, or?
It probably always has been, but some of them are getting better known, you know, especially Andrea Boff in the corner over there.
Can we take a shot at her work? Show me what you're talking about.
Andrea Boff does, we just had a show in November, a one-person show, and she moved here from Boston a year ago, but her specialty is chefs and restaurants and interiors of
you've got the whole
restaurants.
thing here.
So we've sold 51 of her paintings in a year, which is exceptional. You know, just you don't move that many paintings from one artist.
Now, your husband has been very quiet over here. Why have you been so quiet?
Well, it was Judy's idea. She's the one with the art background. She's been in the business for about 40 years. She knows it. It was her idea to start the gallery. I just support her with I'm the accountant, I'm the ad man, and I do the dreary stuff. So she has the flair, she has the knowledge, she has the fun, and I kind of keep the jury business stuff in order.
Yeah, but you know what? You both get to live and work here in Half Moon
Well, that's
Bay.
the beauty of it. It's such a great place to be.
We're just discovering this place, and it is a wonderful, wonderful place.
It really is. Right.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
It's
you
all
very much.
working for you.
It's working very well, thank you.
It's all working for you.
Yes, we're thrilled.
Let's end up with a shot over here in front of these two erotic.
How many erotic people do you want in front of it?
Look at this. This is all local art right here, local erotic art here in Half Moon Bay in the Coastal Gallery.
We have everything in Half Moon Bay, and here's your proof.
Now we're in for a real treat.
Yes, Huell, this is a living throwback to the way that Half Moon Bay used to be when in its agricultural roots.
The Half Moon Bay Feed and Fuel Company, and here to greet us, your name, sir?
Carl Hoffman, I'm the owner.
This is your store?
Yes, it is.
Now, is this really the way it used to be here?
Well, it's the way it's been for the last 12 years. That's how long I've owned it, and we have pictures of it going back all the way to 1911.
So this
it's
store
pretty
has
much
been here a while.
It's been here a while. It's the oldest business in Half Moon Bay other than the Half Moon Bay Review.
Now, are you a feed store guy?
I'm a feed store guy, and I have a present for you. I heard you were coming. This is the freshest duck egg in town. It was laid this morning.
A fresh duck egg?
I'll introduce you to her later.
So wait a minute, there's a duck in there?
There's a duck in there.
Oh my gosh. What do you do with a duck egg?
I eat it.
You scramble them up just
Scramble them, yeah, they're good.
Well, I'll let you hold this for a while. I'm afraid to put it in my pocket. But this is amazing. Here, why don't you hold it for us and hold the duck egg? This is amazing.
And what if it hatches?
Yeah, don't get it too warm for too long.
Can we go inside?
Yes, let's go inside.
Because this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun going inside the old feed store. We're inside the store, and Carl, I got to tell you, this place smells good in here.
Oh, yeah, there's leather, there's rabbits, chickens, all the good things that smell good.
You know, it smells like there's some feed in here, too. This I can smell the feed.
Yeah, there's a lot of molasses in the grains for horses, and all that comes through.
You got rabbits in here.
We sell probably 200 or 300 rabbits a year for pets.
Look at these little rabbits. Now, would that have been something that traditionally would have happened here in Half Moon Bay? How did rabbits get to Half Moon Bay?
Well, I think in order to survive with the farming kind of dwindling, and you start to find ways to change part of your store into a pet store.
I got you.
And
so these are literally for pets.
They are for pets, yes.
Oh wow! But you got all kind of. Here's the seed.
Yeah, we have trout feed, bird seed, chicken feed, horse feed.
You're big into seed. And this is where it really starts smelling back in here.
Yes, well, that's because we're getting near the chicks.
Oh, you got chickens back here, but you've also got, look at all this feed here.
These are all chicken feeds in here.
You got the corn. This is what over here?
That's oyster shell to make good hard shells on the eggs.
This is a nice setup right here. Now, this looks like something that would be in an old-timey feed store.
It's been here a long time.
Yeah, and here are the chickens over here.
Yep, there are, we sell about...
Look right over here.
10 different breeds. Here we have the barred rocks, which are a black and white chicken. These are all pullets, which means they're females, and they're egg layers. Over here we have the Rhode Island Reds, which she's filming right now. And then to the left, the production black pullets. All these lay a brown egg. All these three types lay brown eggs.
So is there a lot of chicken farming still going on around here?
Actually, there's a lot of families that do have their own chickens. They'll have 3 or 4 chickens, and they just eat their own eggs.
I got you. Well, where's the duck we were talking about?
Well, we're going to have to go out the back door here and see if we can find her.
There, actually, you're holding the egg, so we know.
Holding the egg.
We know there's a duck here somewhere.
Well, I don't know, I'm beginning to hear some little tapping noises in here.
This is.
There's a duck.
We found the duck, but we also found a chicken.
Yeah, that's the duck's best friend. The chicken has been here for about a year. Her name is Gertie. I actually don't know the duck's name, but they hang out together. They go over here in that little house at night, and we lock them up, keep them away from raccoons and everything. But they're very happy here.
I've never seen a duck and a chicken hanging out together before like this. This is very unusual.
Oh, I don't know. They seem to like one another.
Well, maybe it's not unusual here in Half Moon Bay.
Well, tomorrow morning when I get here, there'll be another egg for me.
Look at these two. They're kind of interested in the camera.
Yep.
Look at this. This is amazing. Wow, so this is almost like a tame chicken.
They're tame.
Look at this.
She doesn't lay eggs anymore, the chicken.
Just the duck.
Just the duck.
That's why I've got a duck egg and not a duck and a chicken egg.
That's right.
Well, this was totally unexpected. We thought we were going to get a tour of your feed store. Instead, we get to meet, the chicken's name is Gertie?
Gertie, I don't know the duck's name.
Before we leave the feed store, we have hooked up with Lisa because, Lisa, you told us you know the duck's name.
Duck Duck.
Duck Duck.
Duck Duck.
Now, what's the story on Duck Duck and the chicken?
Well, Duck Duck needed a home, and Myrtle needed a home because Myrtle is an egg eater. She's a bad chicken.
Really?
Eats her own eggs. Someone brought her here. We took her in. And then Duck Duck came in, and they love each other. They hooked up. They hang out. And when Myrtle goes to bed, Duck Duck goes to bed. And they love each other. How long
has this been going on?
About 6 months.
Really?
Really?
Do people in town know about this?
Yes, they do.
So they come by to look at it now.
They visit Duck Duck.
This is a big deal.
Yes, they visit Duck Duck. They visit Myrtle. They love them both.
You see,
and
most...
Duck Duck talks to you, too. You walk up to her, you go, Duck Duck. She goes, whack, 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 whack.
She goes what?
Whack, whack.
See, most towns might take in stray dogs or stray cats.
We take in stray chickens and stray ducks and stray guinea pigs and stray rabbits and and every mouse there is in town lives here at Feed and Fuel.
Another local. Your name is?
Aaron Aguilar.
We just met out here in the street, and I asked you if you were truly a local, and what did you say?
I say not really a local unless your family's been here at least 100 years for the most part. I mean,
so this is an old town.
There's some families that go back since the days of the Mexican settlers. Yeah.
Now, why did you come here?
I came here about 20 years ago. I came here as a fireman. I was a fireman here in town for 5 years. And then I left and took a job with another fire department, but I stayed here. I mean, there's not a better town on the peninsula to live. I mean, it's got a cross of everything. The people are nice, got a small town atmosphere, and in 15, 20 minutes you can be in San Francisco, and 20 minutes you can be in downtown San Jose.
So we're really that close to San Francisco, because you kind of feel like you're in another world looking out here.
Yeah, the perception is you're a lot farther away than you are, but it's literally, you go up Highway 1, you're 25 minutes, you're in downtown San Francisco in the financial district.
The Portuguese IDES Society, Espírito Santo, Half Moon Bay, founded 1871. Ken, what is that all about?
Well, that's the oldest organization in the state of California, Portuguese organization.
Portuguese organization. Yeah. What does IDES Society mean?
It means Armado Dio Espírito Santo, people worship together.
So there were a lot of Portuguese here in the early days.
Oh, yes, yes.
Are you Portuguese?
Yes, yes.
Are there a lot of Portuguese?
There's a lot of them here, yeah. They came from the Azores here about 25 years ago. We still have a membership of about 450 people.
Wait a minute, they just came here 25 years ago?
No. This is the younger generation.
Oh, when did they originally come over?
Well, in the 1500s, I think.
So they've been here.
Because actually the Spaniards were here first, then the Portuguese whalers came by. Then ever since they've been here in Half Moon Bay between the Portuguese and the Italians, farming and.
So your ancestors have been here a long time.
Yeah, my father came over here in 1917.
This is fascinating. We just spotted this basically on the side of the road here. My name's Huell Hauser. Your name, sir, is?
Ken Paul Lozada.
We saw you out here working on these beautiful pieces of art. What is all of this?
Well, they're images of the dream world and the unconscious. And then I just stay with it and pay attention to my own dreams and then the world of subconscious and so on.
Now, how do you do this? What are you doing right over here? We drove up, you were working over here.
I'm just restoring a wooden drum. It's, well, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes in it. And it's just a simple design. It's a piece of oak, white oak, or red oak.
Where do you get the wood? Because you've got this amazing, look at all this beautiful work.
Well, a lot of it is given to me because of people who know what I do. And then they are interested in dropping stuff off or whatever.
What is this right here? Could we take a look at this? This is so interesting.
Which one?
This one right here, the way this kind of comes right through the tree.
Oh, well, that's the hole I chiseled through a redwood log. This was a branch from a tree in San Mateo where I lived for 30 years.
Wow.
Fell over, so the owner there wanted to know if I was interested. Says, yeah, bring it over and I'll see what I can do with it.
So you're recycling and putting it, giving it another life.
Sort of like human beings. Many lives are just considered cast-offs and of no use. So I take the cast-offs and turn them into things of beauty and harmony and so on. You know.
Now, are these for sale, or are they just out here as a display? Or?
They used to be. Now I'm getting them ready for the museum world.
Wow, because this is museum quality.
Yes, I know it. That's why I'm working on it.
Well, congratulations. Your name again?
Ken. K-E-N. Ken Paul. L-O-Z-A-D-A. Lozada.
What a joy to meet you, and this was all totally by surprise. We were just riding around, and here you were.
Well, Stacy knows me. I know Stacy.
Stacy, come here. This guy's pretty well known in town, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And his artwork is, of course, very well known, and his drumming, which he leads people, a lot of youth, in drumming circles, all off and on throughout town. Sunset on the beach. You can't mistake Ken from his work and his drumming. He is distinctive.
So you want to hear a tattoo? This is how I do my sculpting with a... drumming is just another part of sculpting, and sculpting is another part of drumming. So all involves rhythm. And we all have rhythm, but it's very seldom that we're able to use that rhythm.
Oh, we've got the drums right here.
It's just an example of African drums. And it involves a beat and usually dancing. And you think of the heart. Kind of stuff.
Thank you so much.
All right, Hugh.
What a pleasure this has been. Thank you for bringing us here.
I'm glad that Ken was out. I'm glad we came by when we did.
Well, we're still in town. We're actually just a block or two off Main Street, Stacy.
That's right.
But here's the guy we met outside the grocery store.
That's right, delivering vegetables.
Hi, how you doing?
How you doing? Welcome. I'm Farmer John.
And who's
again? That's Clementine, but she's all excited. We got company out here in the country, but we're downtown country, really and truly.
Well, yeah, because now these are big condominiums right over here.
Yeah, it used to be an artichoke field. Now it's $500,000 condos. What happened?
So this is the way the town is changing.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
But what have we got going here? Can we walk through here?
Of course, yeah. We have some cilantro, a little bit for the grocery store. You were just downtown at Bev's, and some of the restaurants in town.
town and on the coast. And we have some dill bouquet, and we have fava beans, and we're not too big of farmers. We really are little farmers, as our license plate says. We farm, and we're little farmers.
Now, is this something your family did before you?
That's right. We're pretty fortunate. We had a great-grandpa and a grandpa, and then myself now, and so my wife, and so there's we're going on the third generation.
Here in Half Moon Bay?
Yes.
On this land?
Well, the original great-grandpa came from Italy, immigrated to Daly City and Colma, where most of them started, and then worked in the produce farms up there in the early 1900s, and then after the war, they all kind of worked their way down the coast here in the artichokes and produce, and then became flower growers, and now we're kind of evolving back to the produce industry. I don't know what happened there.
Well, now, it looks to me like you're using some of the original equipment over here. You're not doing that just for us.
No, I mean, I was just using them. I was waiting for you to come out and do one, but this is McGill and Francisco. A couple of our associates have been with us for years, and I was pushing it a little while ago, and I was thinking about how when Grandpa and Daddy were using that thing, they were thinking about a glass of red wine and raviolis at sunset. And I'm thinking of chairing a major stormwater pollution meeting next Wednesday. I'm chairman of the San Francisco Water Quality Control Board, but yet today I'm a farmer, and next week I'll be chairing a hearing for all the 9 Bay Area counties. So what happened in these last 50 years, I don't know, but we're doing it. We farmers are involved.
Boy, a lot has happened. And looking out here, though, look at this wonderful place. This is like a real farm just right out here.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We're downtown, but yet there's still some agriculture. We're changing to be able to survive in agriculture. The Pastorino's family here has grown artichokes and straw flowers for 50 years, and now Dana and Wayne Pastorino have had to change, and they've become in the hay business and the horse business, and they're servicing the whole Bay Area here with their hay and feed. So we few farmers that are left on the coast are trying to evolve into a way to keep us in agriculture, whatever it takes.
Do you think if we came back here 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, you'll still be here? Your family will still be here?
Let's hope so. We baby boomers are getting a little older now and a little more aches and pains in our body, but as long as we can continue to work and be in agriculture, farmers don't retire. Daddy's 80 years old, and he still will tinker around in the garden, so, but he'll go play golf and go to Hawaii too, but he's still around. I can remember a couple years ago, I went in, it was a cold December day, and I asked him, I said, he was sitting by the fire, I said, you want to do me a favor? And he said, no, so I knew he was retired then.
Well, this is great. They're still doing it the old-fashioned way right here.
Yeah, that's little people. You know, we little farmers still have to do this, but it's the ground's kind of hard, so we're breaking the crust and trying to make it so the crop will get out of the ground here, so we'll have a little bit of sales come spring, so we have something to sell.
You know, we're just 2 blocks off the main drag where we have spent the whole day.
Isn't that fabulous?
And this is a perfect way to end our visit here, because this takes us back.
It really does.
And shows us the way Half Moon Bay got its start, and it's still going on today.
Yeah, thank God there's still a few guys trying to hang on, but as I said earlier, we're all doing something different than our grandfathers and fathers did, but we're still out here with a hoe, if you could believe that. But
you're still in the soil.
That's right. We'll nurture the soul out here as long as we can, and if the next generation wants to be farmers, our daughters, we'll do everything to keep them farming.
Well, we're ending up where we started, at the beach, right here on the coast. Stacy, you didn't know it, but earlier, before we got to Half Moon Bay, we had pulled off to the side of the road, and we were actually on the coast about 7 miles from here, saying we were heading to Half Moon Bay. Thank you so much for putting all this together for us on such short notice. We had no idea what we were getting into.
Huell, it's been an absolute pleasure, a joy to have you come here and see Half Moon Bay and talk to some of the people, the real people, and get the real people stories here in Half Moon Bay. It's been a joy.
Well,
Thank you.
People come through here as tourists. This is a tourist destination.
Yes, it is. Even more so. It's becoming more and more.
But we feel privileged to have seen another side of Half Moon Bay, the family side, the local side, the side that gives this community its real character and flavor.
Exactly. I feel privileged to have played a small part in showing you that side.
Well, thank you very, very much. Tell everybody where we are right now, because There are these beautiful beaches all up and down the coast here, and this is kind of the town beach, isn't it? The Half Moon Bay Beach.
This is Francis State Beach, and you get here by coming straight west from downtown. It's one of the most popular destination beaches if you want to surf or fish or sit in the sun and soak up some rays if you want to take off your parka, or just stand here and be windblown like we are right now.
Yeah, but boy, a wonderful windblown it is.
Oh yes.
This has been an absolutely wonderful, wonderful day. Like we said earlier, we had no idea what we were getting into.
Well,
we pulled into town, you put all this together for us. You ought to go into the tour guide business.
Oh my goodness.
No, really, you did this very well.
I don't know if it'd be this much fun.
Well, we have had a lot of fun, and I hope you've had fun with us as well here in this wonderful little community nestled right on the coast of California, just 30 minutes away from downtown San Francisco.
Right.
But it's another world, and a wonderful world we have been in all day today. I hope you've had fun too in Half Moon Bay on this road trip. Now let's just stand out of the way, Stacy.
All right.
And take a nice long look down the beach, down the coast, at this wonderful, wonderful place where we've spent the day. Hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser. I sure hope you had as much fun in Half Moon Bay as we did. And if you'd like to see this road trip again or share it with your family and friends, it's available on video cassette. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727 and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.
Road Trip with Huell Hauser is made possible by the Automobile Club of Southern California.
Next time you're ready to travel around California or anywhere in the world, remember, the Auto Club can help you save time and plan everything. And that can make any trip a lot more enjoyable. See you out there.
Serving your travel needs for over 100 years, the Auto Club of Southern California. We're always with you.